We gather here at a time when sustainable investment is more important than ever, as the world faces major environmental and economic challenges. As leaders in business, politics, and finance, we all play a role in making positive changes. It is our collective responsibility to drive sustainable investments that align with Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and ensure a prosperous future for all. The European Union remains a strong advocate of the green agenda, setting ambitious goals to transition to a low-carbon, sustainable economy. In this regard, Kosovo is also committed to this path, striving to meet European standards and contribute to global sustainable efforts. At the European Investors Council, we are proud to support these initiatives and amplify the efforts of our members who lead with sustainable practices across various industries. Over the next 2 days, as Berat said earlier, we will explore critical topics such as transforming energy systems, funding sustainable projects, and attracting capital. We will receive valuable insights, I'm sure, from government officials, banking executives, and various industry experts. We are honored to feature speakers from prominent organizations such as the Energy Community, European Investment Bank, European Union, RCC, Regional Cooperation Council, as well as government officials who are with us today and will be with us also tomorrow. Today's forum will begin with discussions on the new growth plan for the Western Balkans, the urgent need for business involvement in energy system transformation, and the role of capital in creating sustainable dynamic. Tomorrow we'll shift our focus to the implementation of the Green Deal and the transformative potential of artificial intelligence in accelerating sustainable investments. Last but not least, I would like to express my gratitude to all the amazing speakers who will be joining our panels for sharing their insights and experience, which I'm sure will be very valuable. In particular, I would like to thank Raiffeisen Bank and CEO Raiffeisen Bank, Ms. Anita Kovacic, for making this event happening, supporting from the very first day when I approached on behalf of the EIC last November. And her team, Antigona and Vesa, were with us together with Eira and Loretta, my colleagues, in making this event happening. Thank you, and may this forum be both enlightening and fruitful for all of us.
It's an honor to be here today and to address you on some of the perspectives of the Kosovo government on sustainable development, which is a dear topic to my heart. As you may imagine, the role of Chief of Staff is to put, among other, also a lot of fires out, which is not what I actually enjoy that much, but it comes with a job. But I do come from the private sector, and discussing with different stakeholders, international organizations, IFIs, banks, private businesses and associations, business associations is really a pleasure. So, for those that know me, my mantra is values, systems, results. And we believe that as a government, we have been able to strengthen further and cultivate some good values, which have resulted in building good systems, which have in turn resulted to some great results, also showed by many international indexes recently in strengthening democracy, rule of law, fighting crime, corruption. These are all good business enabling environment improvement indicators to allow for sustainable prospective investments in the future. So I'm happy that I'm here amongst you, because I think a lot of Kosovo's successes now are also a result of a great cooperation we've had since after Kosovo's liberation in 1999, with the various inputs from various international experts, including those that are aligned, especially with Western democratic values, and they've helped us build this robust system. And we still have lots to do. We recognize that, but we are on a good path, I believe. The topic of today's discussion, or this conference's theme, if you will, is sustainable development. And the word sustainability differs depending on where you come from. You know, and I always like to measure things from 1 to 10. You know, you can be sustainable at 1, and you can be sustainable at 10. Obviously, we do aspire to become developed in all aspects of life, like Western European democracies or Western democracies overall. And we recognize that we have some challenges and we have a long ways to go, but therefore we cooperate and we brainstorm, we strategize, we picture how Kosovo could be in 2040, 50 and beyond, because changing a culture, changing systems, even in a small organization takes years, let alone in a country. So we are mindful of the time it takes for real sustainable results to actually ingrain in the social fabric of Kosovo. I come myself from the private sector, so I know how it is to run a business and to keep a business alive and to need to be creative and innovative constantly. And I wanted to actually jump into the public sector to be able to help directly from within. And I see a lot of good people all across different ministries, different sectors, different departments, willing to really do good work. The way I see things is that first you need a strong vision, a clear vision of where you want to be, regardless of what sector you are in, whether health, education, private sector. And then create the best possible strategy to get there, and then enable the human capital to actually implement that strategy. It's relatively simple if you think about it. The government has basically two major functions. One deals with growth and one deals with support. Growth deals with promoting sustainable private sector development, which means increasing export-oriented FDI, considering that we are a relatively small country, population-wise. We need to be focused on export-oriented FDI. Whereas supporting functions are everything else, all public services that we provide as a government, from education, health to streamlined, easy, non-bureaucratic tax services, right? So I think we are, and personally, I'd like to focus today's part of my discussion, and I'll be brief.
First of all, allow me to congratulate you, the European Investors Council, on the organization of the first Sustainable Investment Forum. We expect that this will now be a national event. Thank you for the opportunity to address this important audience. This is a timely discussion for Kosovo in its stage of development and the view of global circumstances. We hear about the positive trends of foreign direct investments, the ever-increasing remittances, increasing number of jobs, and some positive developments in increasing export. These are all good developments, recognized in regular reports of international organizations. In terms of the FDI and remittances, Kosovo stands out in the region, perhaps even beyond. The problem is how to turn these investment flows into something more productive. Currently, Almost 80% of the FDI is invested in real estate, and remittances are mainly used for consumption. While both are an important source to keep the economy moving, with a little shift, they could turn into something much more sustainable. Enforcing sustainable investment and growth is a must, also in view of the mid-term brain drain. We understand that salaries in private sector are increasing, yet the working force is the key issue raised by businesses in our bilateral meeting with them. Sustainable investment, which means one that is socially responsible, will ensure that the job offers are more attractive to workers and prevent the brain drain. A higher salary alone is not sufficient, as skilled people are now want to live and work in countries that offer optimal security and environmental conditions. We can all agree that addressing environmental issues should come neck to neck with sustainable investment. We see positive developments and good dynamics in the energy sector, but more is needed in other important areas, such as waste management and advancement of environmentally friendly mobility. Reforming the business environment is likewise an important task before Kosovo. While there is a great business potential, ambitious companies, talented youth, and proximity to EU markets, you need to focus on your competitive advantages and support sectors with potential to increase exports and create jobs. We believe that private sector development and sustainable economic growth is a precondition for progress in other areas of society, political, economic, and social. It is very encouraging to see that this forum comes as an initiative from a private sector. The EU, as Kosovo's biggest donor and trade partner, has made its financial assistance available to Kosovo to make it more competitive, investment attractive, and able to create more jobs. As a response, Kosovo must take care of its investors as the best ambassadors of Kosovo investment climate. You need efficient investors aftercare program for potential and present investors in Kosovo, and a grievance mechanism which will serve as a single address for receiving and addressing investors' complaints. We hope to see the two new agencies which will hopefully address many of these issues soon. The EU is already helping through our IPA projects, but even more so through our programs. We are happy to see the ratification of EU's single market program by the Assembly, as the ratification of other international agreements. The program provides vast opportunity for strengthening the governance of the internal market, supporting the competitiveness of industry, and in particular of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. But if there is anything I want to take away from my intervention today, it is that the new growth plan for the Western Balkans that will bring our partners, including Kosovo, closer to the EU single market, boost economic growth, and accelerate socio-economic convergence. The new growth plan is built on 4 pillars, which are interdependent and reinforce each other. The first pillar tackles economic integration with the European Union single market. The second pillar aims at enhancing economic growth through the common regional market based on EU rules and standards, which will potentially add 10% to respective economic